Welcome back to Doing Life Radio. I'm Sam.
And I'm Joyce. We're a married couple living in South Jersey, talking about all things life with a special focus on food, fitness, and faith.
And today's topic covers all three?
Pretty much,
Yeah, just about. We have a guest. I don't know what number guest this would be.
I think maybe our fourth or fifth guest.
Yeah.
But we have our friend Kim coming. We like to call her Crossfit Kim.
Crossfit Kim.
She has a remarkable story to share. She lost a ton of weight through diet.
Almost literally a ton. Yeah, it was a lot.
And then she incorporated working out, and now she is in CrossFit. So she gives us a little bit of her journey, but I do have to tell you a little bit about this episode first.
Okay. A little preemptive.
I started to come down with, I don't know if it was allergies or a cold. I mean, like an hour before we were due to
just
record
total
this.
like
It
off the
just
hill.
hit me like that. I did take an allergy medication just before we started to record, but shortly after we started, my body went into full breakdown mode, and the cameras are running. There's nothing I can do, and I'm literally blowing my nose the entire episode, trying to sneeze off of the microphone. My eyes are watering. I look like I'm crying, so I apologize. I don't know what happened. I started to break into sweats. I've never had this happen before. This was the craziest episode we've ever recorded.
I'm totally fine.
They were fine. Luckily, Kim and Sam totally carried the show. I was a hot
Don't
mess.
tell people that. They might tune out if they can't
And
hear
I'm
the
so
great Joyce.
sorry.
All right. So if you want to see what Joyce is talking about, you want to watch this thing on YouTube, check it out and watch her blow her nose.
For a full hour, you can watch me blow my nose and try not to cry.
But sound-wise, the quality is still good. Hey, share, like, and review us on iTunes. Share this out with your friends. We're on all your different venues. You're watching us on YouTube. And we had a great episode. I really enjoyed the conversation that we had with Kim. I think you're going to love the conversation too. In all the show notes, you'll be able to get in contact with Kim and with us in a secret family recipe.
Oh, yeah, she's got a good one.
It's so secret we don't even know about it. But hopefully we'll share it with you. So here we go. Let's on with the episode. And Joyce is coming down with the influenza flu. Okay, so I am the odd man out in this situation because I'm sitting...
Well, every time we have a guest, you're the odd man out. I don't think we've had a male on yet.
I guess so. Like, I got to expand my friend circle a little bit.
Clearly what's happening.
But in this particular situation, I'm sitting at a table with two hairstylists.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
So I'm way out of the conversation.
I was totally thinking we need a hair show.
And
Yeah, we need a hair talk show.
this thing could go off the rails so fast. I have no idea what's going on.
Idea.
Yeah.
Now,
Not this episode. Another episode we could do like upcoming looks for fall or something.
Yeah,
That would be fun.
that's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll give you a secret right now. My upcoming look for the fall, for me, is very
sleeves.
similar to what's going. Probably sleeves.
Just add the
We're
sleeves,
just
you're
adding
ready to
sleeves
go.
onto it. It's summertime. I gotta let the arms breathe out there. So why don't you introduce our guest?
Okay, so with us today we have our really good friend Kim. Hello. She goes to church with us. She actually leads our worship team, and we love her. Her
Maybe
children.
we'll have her sing an intro or something like that.
I did not warn you for that.
My name is Kim.
Yeah.
She's got two awesome kids. They're in our youth group, so our families are pretty intertwined, which is really cool.
They're even more so now. Like her babies
And then, her daughter's in band with our son. So
crazy.
even at school and at church, our families are all sort of meshed together, which is it's been fun.
we got a nice little community going on at the
do.
church. I think we're growing into it.
Definitely.
Yeah, I had popped in a band the other day, and there was tons of kids from our youth group. I was like, oh, this is such
Yeah, I know.
a
That's
fun
like
group.
that's really awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that.
But anyway, when we met Kim, which how many years ago do you think that was? When did you start coming?
Well,
to
I
the
started
church?
coming to church in, I think it was like 2009. We were kind of like searching, and we were kind of in and out. So,
So
it was
good
kind
10
of
years
yeah.
or so
Wow.
we've known
Yeah.
you.
Wow.
Definitely. That is crazy, right?
I know.
If anything makes you
Because
feel
Autumn
old.
was so little in
She was-
Sunday school
She's
when
still
she
little.
started.
She's still
Yeah.
little, and yeah, she was like a baby. Yeah, they were like babies then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when we first met you, you were beautiful, but you didn't look exactly like you do now. So take us through a little bit of what went on in your life in these past 10 years.
So I've had a pretty big journey, and actually this journey kind of started in like 2011.
Okay.
Just like anything else, I'll even bring you back before that. I've always had I've always been overweight, always been heavy in my life. I've hated exercise, just didn't know how to eat right. I've tried numerous diets. You lose 20 pounds and then you kind of get like a little fancy and you start like eating more stuff, and then you gain it back. And that's my, kind of my lifestyle. That was my lifestyle
diet that they talk about.
Yes. And then like I had kids and then it was even harder. And, like Scott lost his job at one point.
Scott's her husband.
Scott's my husband, sorry. And I was just we were just eating unhealthy, and because we didn't have a lot of money to buy like healthy things, that's fairly expensive.
Is the problem. We
yes,
talk about that all the time.
It is a huge problem. And so I really put on a lot of weight, probably the heaviest that I ever was. I will not share that though.
Private information.
Yes.
You're just going to have to guess.
You just have to guess. But I will tell you how much I lost. But I'll get to that. So I guess it was about 2011 when I just like I did any other time, I decided to just try something. Mm-hmm. And I had a friend of mine that was doing something, and she had lost a lot of weight. And so I just decided to try what she was doing. And basically I cut out carbs and sugar. And I was eating a lot of like lean protein and greens and measuring my stuff.
Is there a name for that diet?
Really?
Weight Watchers?
It was not Weight Watchers.
Okay.
Actually, Weight Watchers, I felt like I failed on because they're... It was... I'm sorry, Weight Watchers.
Yeah, I know. There's a whole Weight
I'm
Watcher
so sorry.
community that is on it.
But
If you're watching this real quick, I am not crying. I'm having some sort of an allergy thing
she's
going
so
on.
emotional over this.
I just feel
Where
like
did
people
all
are
the
going to
carbs
see me
go?
with the tissues and be like, wow, she's really emotional about this girl.
Why won't she tell us her weight?
Okay, so you were doing...
I felt like with Weight Watchers, because I've tried it a lot of times, it was too free for me.
Okay.
I needed more you can eat this, you can't eat this.
I'm with you.
And, so anyway, so I tried it, and like the first month, I lost like 20 pounds. Ooh. It like fell off because all that carbohydrates, all the sugars, and all the... for years, I was always like, I can never give up the spaghetti. Mm-hmm. I need my pasta, and actually, I don't miss that.
I don't either.
Yeah.
And I was
crazy.
like,
she's crazy.
I mean, lasagna and ziti, like that was my food group. I loved it. And I was the same, fearful, like I can't give that up. But I
I'm
actually
Italian. You'll
don't
be
miss
disowned
it.
by the community, right?
Yeah, I know. So, so I tried it, and I guess I stuck with it because the scale finally kept dropping. And even though when I dropped all the carbs and everything out, I had like monster headache for like I don't know, it was like a week and a half. I guess I was
that sugar coming off?
Yeah,
the
sugar coming off, the detox and
That's
stuff
crazy.
like that. So I kind of kept with it, which is shocking for me. I did not exercise at the time because I was like anti-exercise. I just like,
and you were seeing results.
But I was seeing results, so I didn't need to.
Wow, so you were losing that just by changing your diet. That's amazing.
I know. And it was like falling off, probably because I was a lot heavier,
Right,
So it was just
from
like...
one extreme, you're moving out. That's fine.
So, and I guess it was about 8 months, I lost 80 pounds.
Oh,
wow.
My
So
goodness.
That's incredible.
I was like the thinnest I've been, in a really long time. And I did have a goal in mind. But if I didn't reach it, it wasn't like, detrimental or anything. But, so that was kind of, where it was at. And so it was actually, I never really like told anybody about it because I actually thought I was going to fail. Okay. Like I always have, and I never thought I would succeed. And I didn't think I'd keep it off and, all those different things. And it just kind of snowballed into actually a lifestyle change, which is like the key thing. It was like a light bulb went off, like,
I can't go back to what I was doing, or I'm going to go back to how I was feeling.
Exactly. And then I think actually, speaking of that, I had lost a lot of weight at one point, and I can't remember how much it was. It might have been like at my 50 or something. And I said to myself, I'm going to treat myself. I'm going to McDonald's.
Oh, yeah.
I felt awful.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
This is awful. I actually haven't touched it since that day.
Now, when
Whenever
you say-
that day was, I should have marked it. That's how many years it's been
When you
since
say
I've
you
touched
felt
Clean
awful,
from
you're talking
McDonald's.
like emotionally, physically, like
Well, I felt guilty, yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
I guess like emotionally, but physically, like I felt
food just
sick,
got
like I
you.
had indigestion, I felt sluggish,
Mm-hmm.
I felt just like bleh, like blow, it just
Yeah.
bleh. Why do I feel? I just feel like I didn't feel energetic and all that stuff. So I never went back after that. So I'm not
That's
saying
great.
that I don't enjoy an ice cream cone once in a while, or I don't have a
We're
slice
all
of
about-
pizza.
On the
Yeah.
team of
You know.
like, you still have to have life, and you
Yeah.
know, there's still
still
room
birthday
for
parties out there.
enjoyment
There's
and
still-
celebrations.
there's
but
still the shore, so you
Right.
still have to do pizza and
Yeah,
ice cream.
but it's your daily habits that will, you know, make or break you.
Yeah, yeah. So this has been since 2011.
Wow.
And I've kept it off. I've even gone on to lose a little bit more. I think I don't even know what the like real number is because I'm always like pegging back and forth, but probably close to 100 pounds.
Oh,
That's amazing.
my
So,
goodness. That's
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. So
And I remember having a conversation with you once, and you are really disciplined even today. Like,
Yes.
so many years later, you measure your food.
Yes.
You know what you can and can't have.
Yes.
And it's very inspiring that, because that seems so like monotonous. Like, I can't do that all the time. And you're saying like, if I can do it,
yeah.
you can do it.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
I am. I'm very regimented about that because, and what I've found from previous time is like, if let's say you can only have this much of chicken, and then like you're weighing, and then you're like, oh well, that looks like, you know, this many
Right,
ounces,
I
whatever it
gotcha.
is, and then what happens is your portions actually start getting bigger over time, and you don't realize that you're actually eating more than
You take away the scale and just
right.
eyeball it.
So I'm on it. If I'm home, I'm always weigh and measure my food. I weigh and measure my food for work, and that's another thing. I
Pack your
I
food.
pack my food
Yeah, that
every.
is a big
100%.
thing that
Yes.
Joyce does for
I always
sure.
Yes,
bring my
and the
food.
girls at work are always like, "You never order out. You're so good." And I'm
One,
like,
it's so
so
expensive.
expensive.
I'm
It
not
does add
spending
up fast.
$15
Yes.
a day on
Yes.
garbage to eat.
Yeah.
And then it's almost all carbs. It's
Yes.
really hard to find a high protein, good quality meal when you're
Yes.
like flipping through a menu at a salon that you want delivered in 30 minutes.
yes,
You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, packing food. I just make extra food. It's
Yes.
really not difficult. I make a big dinner and then I pack up the leftovers for lunch.
And that's one thing when I make our dinners, I do think about like my work week. So we actually pretty much eat grilled chicken like twice a week, and then I make extra so that I can cut it up and put it in my salad.
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that. I always have hard-boiled eggs on hand so that I can.
We are like the
Yeah, this is-
hard-boiled egg.
This is so
My
weird.
speaking your language.
Yeah, you're not saying anything new. This is crazy.
Yeah.
There's some
And we're
other
not doing
lunatics out there.
necessarily the same
No, you're not doing
diet,
the same
although we're
thing.
both very low carb.
Yeah.
Yeah, same
And
concept,
she
right?
measures,
Same
I
kind.
track. Like,
Yeah.
we do things so similarly, even though it's different.
But
Yeah.
still, you
But
found
yeah.
what works for you. And
That's
one-
exactly what it is.
That's one of the things like we keep talking about all the time is there's no like one diet that just kind of like this is what everyone needs to do.
Right.
You got to find your
You find
track.
what works for your body, and you have to stay
Right.
consistent.
So we have a friend that we run into just about weekly who is vegan. And
Sam loves to give him a hard time.
Love,
Poor guy.
love messing with him, but it's working for him. Like it's like that
Yeah,
kind of deal.
he's in fantastic shape.
He's
so
in
what are we gonna say?
Great
You know,
shape, but would I ever do that? No, I would never do that. But he
Right.
wouldn't go our route either.
Right.
And you're talking about like all the diets that you tried, and you found something that kind of works.
Right.
What's interesting is it doesn't have a label. Every diet in the
Yes.
world has a
Yeah.
label.
Yes.
Go through. I'm doing
This
the
is the Kim
so-and-so
special.
diet.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
This is the Kim diet follow up by routine. So just a random question that has probably doesn't really matter in diet. Where do you keep your scale for your food?
I'm gonna just go ahead and assume it's on your kitchen counter.
It has
See?
been, but it gets moved to the toaster oven sometimes so it melts.
Oh my gosh.
Gets
Okay,
moved
I
to the
stand
toaster.
corrected. I did not know that was coming.
Don't ask.
You got a couple. You got a couple kids at home. You got
yeah.
a husband who works late nights. You don't have to explain.
Then they don't
anything.
move it from it and turn it on.
We can see. We can see what's happening.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So I ended up buying a new scale just not too long ago, and it's like really thin, and I actually just put it right in with my dishes. It like fits right in, like I have a
Really?
little
Okay.
spot. So
Okay.
yeah,
we
but I pull it
actually
right
have
out.
a food scale that's never come out of the box.
Really?
Yeah, we should.
How do we end
we
up
should
with
give
that?
it a whirl.
What are we gonna do? Oh yeah, I'm eating 10 pounds of chicken tonight or something like that.
Just so you know what
Right.
you're
So
eating.
let's talk about the average meal that you would have.
Okay.
What's it consist of? And you know the numbers. Let's hear the numbers.
Yeah.
I want to hear like you're able to
She's
give
so
us
specific.
a
I love it.
specific
I am
picture of your
specific.
meal.
Do you
This
want to
is gonna be
actually
awesome.
know what I
Give
do
us,
all day?
Like a common day. I mean, obviously,
Okay, so a
this isn't what
common,
you eat
so a
every
common,
day,
yes,
but-
exactly. So a common day. I do eat 5 small meals a day.
Okay.
And I usually start out. Well, I always have coffee. I have to have like that's
Amen.
my love.
Amen.
My coffee.
Yeah.
We're
We're with
coffee-
you
And I
there.
do
We're
use a
coffeeing
little
up
bit
right
of I do use a little bit of cream in my coffee, so I'm not
Okay,
like,
let me
totally
stop
black.
you right there.
Yeah.
Are you a 2%, half and half heavy cream? What do you do?
So I actually really like the heavy cream, but I found after using it for a little while that it doesn't work with my body. It was
Okay.
too much fat for
Okay.
me. So half and half is my perfect.
I just switched to half and half
Okay.
about 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Really?
I felt, yeah, it's under our fridge. I felt like the heavy cream
Like,
was
what?
just too dense in calories.
Yeah,
That
that's
was the
exactly
problem
what
for
was
me. Like,
happening
it was,
to
It was
me.
eating too many of my calories for the day.
Yeah.
So I switched to half and half because it was only like a difference of a carb. So, okay.
Yeah, because I noticed a
Curious.
difference like on
What
my
about
own scale. So
flavor.
I treat myself once in a while.
Treat yourself.
Treat myself, but on a normal, I don't put any flavor in there. I just use for sweetener, I use stevia. The stevia, or
Gotcha,
some people
gotcha.
call it stevia. I don't know
Stevia,
which
yeah.
right.
We call in this house it's stevia.
Stevia, yeah, stevia, whatever. You know.
Same difference. Good stuff.
So in the morning, I usually I have my coffee, and then I usually either have a protein shake that's like full of. I've been using like the Vega brand as
Okay.
like full of like there's vegetables,
Yep.
and it's
Okay.
like a meal, an actual meal shake.
I think that one is actually vegan, right?
I think it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
We need that soundbite from your sister.
yeah.
Veggies.
It's actually green when you mix it. When I first mixed it, like the powder's not green, and then you mix it, it turned green. So my first time, like I bought it, I'm like,
You're like,
I
maybe
did
not.
something wrong here.
but it was really good.
Dear
So
company.
yes, it was like really strange. I actually even think there's something on the back that says
It
like
will
it
turn
will
green.
turn green
Yeah.
because of all the vegetables and all. Okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was good, so I kept it. And I've been through a couple protein shakes, so you find what works for you.
Right.
Or sometimes I cook myself eggs for breakfast. Just eggs, nothing with it really. Just like 2 eggs. Sometimes I
Sunny side
scramble.
up, scramble, you mix it
Sometimes I
all up.
throw a little tiny bit of cheese because I have to be careful. You know how much dairy and how much fat I have. So. And then from there, I usually do a midday stack. And my midday stack is usually another protein shake. I have added food in there sometimes,
What's midday for you though?
like about 10:30, 11.
Okay.
And it also depends on my work schedule too. If I'm
Yeah.
even allowed, like if I even can get back there, I try to.
Right.
Because it just does better for me. So, but that's usually my midday snack, and my afternoon snack are usually that's like my basis. But
Protein shake is your
sometimes,
jam, huh?
yeah, because it's easy.
Yeah.
It fills me, and I know what I'm
You gotta
getting.
be
And
so
So if
ready.
you're
Are you changing
Kim's
flavors?
10:30 appointment,
Yeah,
and she
give her a
sends you
break.
back to the shampoo girl, you know she is downing a protein shake while you're having your nice scalp massage, and she's going to be A-okay
I
when you
can't
get to
lie
the chair.
that
That's
doesn't
exactly
happen.
what happens. I know that's what happens. That's how we live. We're like,
Looks like we're all done here.
Yeah.
for a nice shampoo with so-and-so, and let you relax a minute.
I am.
You're like,
I'm
I am
I'm
going to
pounding.
force food down my face as quickly as I can. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is our life.
I know it's crazy. So, but then my lunch and my dinner are pretty similar. So I usually have like 4 ounces of protein and 4 ounces of some kind of vegetable.
4 ounces.
Yes, it seems like it's
My.
so
It
small,
does
but
sound
it's
so small.
not. It's really not. I think when I was learning all this stuff in the beginning, like females were supposed to eat about 4 ounces, and males were
size
like
of your palm,
Yeah,
right?
it's
Isn't
about. And then males are like 6 ounces because they eat a little bit more. But I guess I'm so used to, at first, like I felt like, my gosh, where's all my food?
Where's the rest of it?
Yeah,
Right, yeah,
like,
that's-
I
that's
was
a hard
starving.
transition.
But now I'm at such a point, like let's say we go out to dinner. I know if it's more, well, I know because I could see the
Right,
size,
right,
but
but
my stomach actually tells me.
You're done.
You're done.
Yeah, I'm done. Although sometimes my stomach tells me I'm done, and I'm like,
You're not the
but
boss of me.
I'm like, oh my God,
I don't want to be done.
I don't want to be done. Yeah. So I mean, I do struggle too, but it's
Yeah, we
it's
all
life.
struggle.
It's
That's
but for the
exactly it.
most part, I have to
Right.
say I'm pretty very regimented. So that's pretty much the basis. And then
Wow.
I eat a lot of salad. Like usually I eat salads. I'm not really big on cooked vegetables. I do it,
Amen.
but I love the salads. So I make my own salad dressings too. So that way I can
Okay.
control.
What do you use for your base? Like
Well,
olive oil?
usually olive oil. Yeah. I actually have a family recipe of a Caesar dressing. That's always my.
Oh.
Yeah, that's always my
Is
thing.
that a secret one, or can we share
not-
that in the show notes?
Yeah, we could share it in
That'd
the
be
show notes. It's
awesome.
not,
All right,
it's
guess
not
we
a
gotta have
secret
some-
one.
family
Kim's
recipe.
family.
It
Now-
does not have any measurements though. It's always
Okay.
it's a little.
Dump a bit of this, a bit of that. Give it a little taste. See if
got
you
that
need more of one or the
Italian
other.
flair
I like
Yeah,
to
it.
it.
That's how I cook.
So
Definitely.
doesn't you said a Caesar salad dressing?
Yeah.
Doesn't that have fish in it? Like it doesn't have sardines or something? Like that, right?
It's
Anchovies.
anchovies. Yeah.
That was like the biggest thing. It blew my mind. I used to love Caesar salads. Now every Caesar salad I have, every dressing,
think about it.
I'm thinking
Oh,
there's
you
a
think
fish
it's
in here
anchovy.
somewhere, and I'm trying to taste it. I'm like, oh, there's
my
fish
word.
up in here.
It's like a tiny. It's usually like a little tiny fillet. So,
Right.
but a little
Still-
sidebar note, secret. I actually love anchovies. That has nothing to do with the show. I
That
know
has
it's like the
everything.
weirdest
Anchovies are
thing.
great
They are
for
so
you.
yummy. I think they're yummy.
That's one of my
Like, it's
challenge
Full of
things.
omega
Like, if I want to mess
right?
with a
Is
kid,
that the good one? Omega,
What's that?
Omega 3s is the
Omega
good one, right?
3s is the
yeah,
good
they're
one.
full
You
of
should know you
omega
did all the
3s. They're great.
research.
I know.
Are
I
they?
just
I
always
actually
get
never knew
confused
that they
between
were.
3 and 6. Which one's good? Which one's bad?
You would think 6 would be good because it got a higher number, but no,
Yeah.
3's good, 6
Yeah,
bad.
I know. Yeah, anchovies are.
See,
full
I
of
just
them.
learned that too. I didn't know that they were. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are high on that list. So
Okay.
you said you lost a lot of this weight without working out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, usually, like when we run into people, everyone asks the same thing. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
And you have your own thing that you found that works for you. It doesn't have a title. That doesn't make any sense.
Right. I know.
And then we found something that works for us. Now, I tend to, when I'm talking to like the guys and stuff like it boils down to discipline.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, the mantra that Joyce has taught me, eat better, move more. And
Mm-hmm.
that's essentially what we're doing. There's no diet you can tag onto it. You were in a phase where you're eating better. When did you decide to add move more to your life?
So, I decided, I guess it was like maybe about 2 years into it, year and a half to 2 years into it, after I had lost the 80,
Mm-hmm.
and then it kind of just
That's
like,
so remarkable.
That's crazy. Like I thought my weight loss.
Yeah,
was
I didn't know
massive.
you
That
lost
is-
that
Yeah.
much.
That's
Even when we
crazy.
asked you
Good
on the
for you.
show, I thought maybe like 50 pounds.
Yeah.
Because you never really looked really big.
right. Yeah, I know. I
Maybe
think it's
because
just
we're tall, we
maybe
kind of hold it a
I
little
don't
better.
know that, or you just hide it well with certain clothes,
Yeah.
or you know what I mean.
Yep.
So, but so I guess it was just kind of I wanted to lose more, and I was doing all the right things, and I was eating all the same things, and so frustration, and so I decided, well, all right, well maybe I need to add a little bit of exercise, and tone, and stuff like that. So I actually started doing it on my own at home. I would do like T25 videos.
Okay, which is like in the
Is
beach
that a
body.
beach body?
That's a beach body
Okay.
with Sean. Oh, I don't know if I'm allowed to.
No,
you
Sean.
can say
Sean,
whatever.
Sean T.
Our dozens
so
of
you're
viewers
not
aren't gonna
worried
sell
about
it.
our
I don't know if
dozen
Sean T will
viewers.
watch this. I don't know.
We'll tag him, but
Yeah,
I doubt
I know,
it.
right?
Yeah, we'll tag it, sure. Give it a shot.
And so no, I was doing the T25 videos, and they worked for me, but like it after a while, it's like you're doing the same video, the moves, what's
know
next,
exactly what they're gonna say.
Yeah, you know what
Yeah.
they're gonna say.
Which, for someone
Yes.
who's extremely regimented, sounds like
I
you
know.
fall right in your category.
Well, it kind of did, because now I knew the movements, because I always felt like I'm just very
You're trying
like
to figure it out
like
instead of doing
I
it.
can't move my right arm and my left leg at the same time. Like I always feel like it's just I'm like so discoordinated.
patting your head
Yes,
and
I
rubbing
can't.
your
I'm
belly.
I can't. So anyway, so knowing the moves actually did help me, but then you just get bored after a
Yeah,
while, So then from there, I actually tried to start running, and I'm not a runner. So I downloaded the C25K app.
Okay. Yep.
And that was just I beat myself up the entire way, because I was just so out of breath, and I'm like, this is not for me. I
hate
But
running.
it wasn't just for me, but I did do it, but I just like kind of forced myself, but I didn't never really like it. And I guess I really thought that eventually, okay, I'll just learn to like
To
it.
love it, right?
Yeah.
You'll fall in love with it as you go along.
Right. So then from there, I went to, I got a membership at Planet Fitness.
Mm-hmm.
And and that was fine, but I felt like I was doing the same thing all the time. I was like on the treadmill, and then I would go over to the machine, and then I wouldn't know how many reps to do. Like, I never was taught any of that.
Okay,
So like, I never knew like what muscle groups, am I working too much? Am I not doing enough? Because then I'm there and I don't feel anything happening.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm not doing enough, or I'm not doing it right, or whatever. So from there I moved to Anytime Fitness to sign up for a personal
classes
trainer,
and
like
trainers
actually a
and stuff?
personal trainer,
Okay.
because I felt like I needed somebody to actually kick my butt.
Yeah.
That was basically
That's
it.
hey.
And so from there I met a really awesome trainer, and she helped me, and she was so patient with me, and she understood like I told her my whole journey and everything that's going on, and she helped me with she's always correcting me, because again, like I said, I'm so discoordinated, and I didn't know how, so I was doing everything wrong at the gym.
Okay, so you learned
like
that, right?
yeah, like I was going to hurt myself,
Yeah.
really. So I needed to be taught, you know. So from there, at our Anytime Fitness at the time, it did have another gym next door to it, and it was a CrossFit gym.
Oh, boy.
But it wasn't named CrossFit; it was named something else. But she was a trainer there also, because she was CrossFit certified. So she invited me over for a class. I really didn't know what I was getting into.
Yeah.
And so I went over there, and I hated it. And I think what it was is because I'm a little gym shy.
Okay.
And everybody there I felt was like so strong, and they're like lifting these weights, and they're like throwing it on the floor.
Saying lots of dudes and bros.
That is the most intimidating thing, when you throw the weight on the floor. Well, I've never done that, but I've seen you do it, and I'm like,
Didn't do it at
who
first.
is this woman?
We'll get into our little CrossFit stories.
So we kind of, so I went over there. So I hated it. I really hated it. And like, I saw like, you know, they give you like a workout thing to do. And of course, like I knew nothing. And there's like initials and abbreviations, terminology.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
we're going to go down. I have a list. I want to test you on.
Oh,
on
gosh.
your growth on it. Yeah.
I love it.
I want to see that because
we'll see.
you've advanced from this
Yes,
day.
I
that
did.
you-
I promise I am not CrossFit certified or expert at all. I promise. But
In this room,
but
you're the
And,
expert.
Yeah, in this room, you're CrossFit Kim, so that's how it is.
So anyway, so I went from there to I hated it, but I loved my trainer so much. So she just was so like kind of come on and back over another time, and then she would like train me over there. Like sometimes she would take me over and train me over there. And so I kind of started doing it, and then I would come in sometimes and do a workout on my own, and I wasn't really scheduled for like personal training with her, but I'd be like, what can I do? And she's like, just do the board, but modify this or whatever. And so all of a sudden, I'm kind of sort of doing
Figuring it
CrossFit
out.
and figuring it out, I guess, and kind of sort of. So I think when the light bulb went off, or if you want to say I like drank the sauce, I don't know, the CrossFit sauce, I don't know. This one class we went to, you start out in the class with strength, and then you go to your cardio. So it was deadlifts, and I had never done deadlifts before. Of course, I don't have the form right because I'm arching my back. I'm doing all these things wrong. So I was taught how to do it finally, and I'm just deadlifting, and she's like, you could do more weight. And I'm like, what? You have so much more confidence in me than I do. Like, I'm just like, I'm not going to get this. So all of a sudden I just started adding this weight and adding weight and adding weight. And the next thing I know, I'm deadlifting 165 pounds.
What?
That's
Holy
insane.
cow.
And it was so heavy. Like, but
Yeah.
I like lifted it up, and I actually like, I got it up, and I was in amazement in my own self.
Oh, that's so.
And I'm like, oh my God, I got it up. Like, I can't even believe I got this
gosh.
up. Like, what?
That's
Who
awesome.
am, like, I didn't even
Right,
know
right.
who
Who is
I
this
was.
person?
Who is
Right.
this person who hates the gym, hates to work out, like, I hated all this stuff. So then I started to kind of,
You're like, okay, all right,
okay.
yeah.
And then I think what happened a few months later is I actually started, not that the weight really was dropping much more than I wanted it to. But my clothes were getting bigger.
They were fitting better.
So so like I actually was shaping, and then people were starting to say, "Oh, you lost more weight." I'm like, "No, I really haven't. I really."
No,
haven't.
but I can pick you up if you fall
Yeah,
on the ground.
Let me just lift you.
Yeah, I know.
Go ahead, lay down. I'll pull you up.
Yeah, so that's kind of how I started doing CrossFit. That was kind of
so cool. So how many years now have you been doing it?
So now it's been it's been 2 years now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now you're kind of addicted to it.
So now I'm addicted. Like I love to hate it.
Yeah.
I get you.
I really do. I love to hate it. So like I'll kind of go in and I can see the gym that I'm at now, the CrossFit gym I'm at now, I can see my workout before I go. And sometimes I pull it up and I'm like, man, I don't want to do that
That's
today.
probably the best and the worst thing that could possibly happen.
You know, but I force myself to go.
I'm
I
feeling
go.
a little verklempt here.
Yeah, so that's why I say I love to hate it, because when I'm done, like I actually really do feel great. Like because
You
I'm
just hit
like
another personal best, didn't you? Recently.
I did, and what was that? It was
can't
my
remember.
goodness, it was my squats.
Oh my.
Oh gosh, I'm like thinking here. I think it was 115, if I'm not, which and that was back squats 115, which is like crazy.
insane.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know.
no, that's
coming
great.
and
It's
like
so
just
good.
coming
You are
from
so
I
strong.
have to tell you this. When I first started personal training, I actually didn't know how to squat properly. I always thought, and then here I am coming even back like to the T25 videos. Sean T always makes you squat, and I'm thinking, I'm squatting
You knew
great.
what you're doing. Yeah.
I thought I knew, but I wasn't going low enough. And
Right.
so you're not working your entire
You're not getting
body,
enough.
and then you're not straight. And actually, I still struggle with my squats. I still don't. I still do them wrong sometimes. But now I know, and actually, I know when I'm wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, so and I know how to.
That's a
fix it.
huge thing.
Yeah. So you know,
And
it's
that is
kinda
the
where I'm
benefit to going someplace is somebody will correct you if you're doing it
Yes.
wrong, rather than just being in your living room where you
Yes.
can kind of do it halfway.
Right.
And
at. Right.
yeah.
Right. The
Yeah.
TV's not yelling at you.
Right.
Get
Yes.
back, get out. I mean,
Yeah.
they are yelling at you, but they have no clue.
I know, and then
you're
they're
doing
like,
great.
"You're
Keep
doing great,"
pushing.
and you're like, "Okay."
You're sitting on the couch with your coffee. Yeah, I got this
Doing
all
great.
day long. Keep
Feeling
going.
good.
Keep yelling, Sean. I got you. Keep breaking that sweat. We're good. So we had our CrossFit experience a couple.
Yeah. So unfortunately,
months
we've
ago.
only been once.
And it only for us, it's like we enjoy the experience because it's so different. Because I think we're in that same kind of boat. Joyce was in that boat where she was at the gym and doing the same thing. She needed something kind of
Kind of get in a rut, like
kick her and get her moving.
I like a class.
Mm-hmm.
I like working out with other people, and I really wanted to go with you. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't like
Yeah, we definitely-
going into circumstances where I don't know anybody. You know, like I
Right.
felt much more comfortable.
Yes.
So we went to your class. Thank you so
I
much
think
for
this is-
letting us.
This is a great opportunity too. We should give a shout out to Eric who listens
Yes.
and pays
And
attention.
Eric's
Yes.
class, yes.
Yes.
So we knew two
Eric
people
was
there.
there. So I had
Yes.
someone to buddy up
Yes.
with at
Right.
least to point out because another guy.
Yeah.
There we go.
But I will say, CrossFit people have a reputation of being like very encouraging to one another. Like
Yes.
everybody knows that about CrossFit people. And I will say, as soon as we walked in, every person who walked in came up to us, said hello, introduced themselves.
Yeah.
Before the class even started, it
definitely
wasn't like
like a
you introduced us. They just came right up, like, "Oh, hey, is this your first time here? I haven't
Yeah, you
seen
did
you
a
before. My
terrible
name
job
is so."
of introducing us to your
Stop.
friends.
No, they were so like, "Hey, we're so glad you're here." I
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
"Okay,
It's definitely a
great."
family
Yeah.
environment, which
Yes.
which is another reputation
Yeah.
it has that gym definitely stood up to. CrossFit 47, right?
Yes,
We're
CrossFit
definitely going
47.
to mention, tag it, and all that.
Yes.
And what did we do? We did some first time. Like, it was our first time doing that exercise. We were doing.
Were you
pulling
doing
Like a snatch?
snatches? It was
Yes.
snatch,
Snatches,
yeah.
yeah.
Which is actually a very complex movement. So like
right.
you really
Which they
kind of
said,
came,
like, for your first day, that's pretty unique.
yeah.
Yeah.
And again, you're talking to we're gym rats, we
Yeah.
have our own kind of routine and stuff like that, and then
Which I think was helpful that at least
we had something going
done
into it.
some
That is true,
lifting
but
before.
watching everyone there, it's so like a lot of people are like, well, I'm gonna walk in there, and you're thinking you're gonna run into everyone who's on TV, like the CrossFit elite, like they
Right.
just had this past weekend the big competition,
CrossFit Games.
and they are
Crazy.
listen, they are otherworldly people. They are paid to CrossFit 24/7 and to then go in the competition. So you're not going to be them. But what I noticed in that room, no offense to anyone who was in that room, is there was no one there that was like,
Well, they were all shapes and sizes. There
That's
were
exactly-
people who
it
were in
was-
like this incredible
And all ages, too,
shape
right?
Yes,
that's
yes.
super
Mhm.
intimidating.
Yeah.
And
It was
then there
such a
were people
broad
who weren't
spectrum.
in fantastic shape, but they were getting there. You know what I
Right,
mean?
and everyone was there with the same purpose and intent,
Right.
and everyone's doing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
So for us, being first timers, we could sneak that peek over. The trainer, what was his name? I can't remember.
I think his name was Jose.
Jose.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so he would come over and check on us and work with our form, and he did a great job, kind of helping
Yeah.
and assisting us along those lines. But even when he's away, I'm able to look and say, okay, so I'm watching someone else is doing, and everyone's kind of doing the same thing, watching and helping each other out because everyone's doing the same routine. So I really enjoyed that aspect. The only thing, it's the timing is so difficult
Yeah,
for
that
us. And
particular
of course,
time that you go is
Yes.
just not a good time for us. So
Right.
we will try
Our
to go
desire is to go
at
back.
a different time. We
Yes.
just want to go with you and Eric.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
That's what it is.
I know.
we want to. It's such a friendly,
wanna go
welcoming
in there. Yes, it
environment. We
is.
only want to be there with
It's-
people we know.
I know. I know, right?
The other thing I like about it, and maybe this is just me, but all the weights look exactly the same. Like the 10-pound weight, boom, big honking round. The 75-pound weight, big honking round. Like everything looks exactly the same. So you're grabbing the bar, and no one really knows how much weight you're putting on.
Right.
Thing.
That's right.
So
It does
everyone
make
looks
you
like they're
feel
doing the same
like,
thing.
man,
You're
I
like-
am putting up a ton of weight.
Yeah.
You know, I really
I
was.
know.
Because at the gym we go to, the free weights are the little one is
Yeah,
the 2.5,
that's
and
right.
it works its way up to the big one. But they're all big, and they'll
Yeah.
it's so you can look like you're doing
Yeah.
a lot more. And for me, in my mind, I'm thinking, boy, this really should be heavier. And I'm looking around.
I know.
And I'm like, oh, that's because this thing only says 10 on the side. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And then your least favorite thing, when they were done lifting, they snatched that thing up. Wham! They're throwing these weights down on the
yeah,
floor. And I'm
that
thinking,
really- I
what
was
in
like,
the world?
That really
Everyone was doing it. It was
surprised
like
me.
pop, 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 all over the place.
Yeah, when I first started, I was always like so like putting it down nice.
Yes, that's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
That's what very
And
delicate.
my trainer at the time was like, just throw it. And I don't know, this one time I just like I did one of the movements. I don't even know what it was. And I just like threw it like a boss. And
Like a boss.
Like a boss. I love it.
it felt great.
Yeah.
Like, it was like everything was just like, yeah, I don't know. And it's like
no,
that.
I definitely sense
Yeah.
that aggression.
So,
and they're designed to bounce.
yes,
Like
they-
the floor, the weights themselves, everything is designed to drop.
yes.
So it's one, I can definitely see the benefit of it's to alleviate more strain in some of the movements, where like trying to bring something down from a snatch that's hard.
Could be hard on your
Could be
body.
hard, and if you don't do it right, you
could
can
pull
really hurt
something.
yourself. So that's where we're at. We're throwing this thing up to our shoulders and then pressing it up from there. There's a lot of movements there, and I would see people come up and then they come down the shoulder and bam, drop it. I'm like, I'm gonna try this thing. I'm gonna
Yes.
try dropping it.
I
Did
know.
you?
Yeah, I dropped it just once or twice. I couldn't. I don't know because in
We're
the
so
gym we go
trained
to.
in our gym. You
Yes,
cannot
you can't-
do that.
yes, you
so
can't.
if
we're
you
like so
sneeze
trained.
too loud, the alarm
Yes.
goes off.
Everything has to be put down.
And actually,
very
I
gently.
think, well, because I have been at Planet Fitness, so that was, I guess, my mentality at first
Yeah.
when I first went there. And they're like, no, drop it, make noise. And even the whole, like, grunting thing, like, getting up the weight, I am like, I don't want to make any, like, sound. I don't want to
wanna draw
cause any
attention to
attention to
ourselves.
me, like, you know. But when you go heavy, it actually brings
Yeah.
it out of you.
Yeah.
And my first time I ever did that, I was like, oh, I'm sorry. And they're like, no, like, don't apologize. What? Like, they want to hear, like, so in other words, it was almost like, if you're not grunting, you're not lifting it heavy enough or
Right,
something,
you're not
you know.
pushing yourself.
You're not pushing
There's a
yourself or
correlation
whatever.
to
Yeah.
it. That's kind of like was it the Japanese like karate and stuff like that. There's something about that to that. What do they call it?
Hi-ya?
Yeah, the hi-ya. If you properly perform your hi-ya, it adds exponentially to your strength.
Yeah.
This is what I live with every day of my life.
The hi-ya. Okay, so let's play a little CrossFit game.
Oh, gosh.
You're
All right.
2 years into CrossFit, and we'll start off with some really, really simple ones. For example, when every CrossFit gym has this, the WOD.
Yeah.
Everyone, like, what's the WOD? What's going on?
What's the WOD?
What's the WOD of the day? What's the WOD? And that's, I hear
Yes.
that one too. So what does WOD stand for?
So WOD, and I hope I get this right, it stands for workout of the day.
Yes, it does.
Yes.
Very good.
Yeah,
so that is
see?
correct. So,
Yes. And
the CrossFit, every day is something different, right?
Every day is something different, and it's actually programmed specific. I have no idea what the programming is, but like our gym specifically, and I'm sure all the CrossFit gyms across the country,
Right.
or even the world, because they're everywhere.
It is
The world is a worldwide
thing.
There is a program, somebody that puts a program together. So they specifically program certain, I guess, muscle groups and movements and cardio that goes along with it.
So
So
this WOD typically goes out. This is like a nationwide WOD?
No, I think each gym has a specific, but I guess,
build into it?
yeah, I think that, and they just kind of know what, they're trained to know what goes with what.
Yeah.
So,
now,
but
for anyone who thinks that the CrossFit gym, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that CrossFit gym, and I've talked to people been to other ones, that CrossFit gym is very similar to other gyms. And the fact that you walk in and it looks like a warehouse and there's weights all over the place, but they got technology in there too. I mean, everyone's checking in, signing in, they're checking their weights. Like you said, there's an app so you can see the WOD before you go. You know what's coming up the next day. Like it's not like a crude, like, it's not dirty at all. It was a very well kept place, and everything had its spot, and you could tell. There's
put your
equipment
weights back.
that is going to eventually be used sometime down the road. I've seen that. So, it's a very neat environment. Like I like it. Makes you feel like you could turn your garage into a gym.
I know you totally could. But with the WOD, there's two of them usually in your during your workout. And your first WOD is usually, sometimes they mix it up, but it's usually your strength training. And whatever it may be, it incorporates into the second WOD. And your second WOD is your cardio, but it's also cardio and strength usually. And usually, like, let's just say, for instance, and I'm not a programmer, but let's just say you are doing deadlifts. You could either, it will be different. Sometimes it's like 5x3s or 3x3s or 1 rep max or something like that. So like you're putting the heaviest amount of weight you can on your bar to do this first part. So the second part, you're going to get ready for your second WOD. It's usually incorporated with what you just did. So in other words, the second part's going to have the deadlifts in it, but it's going to be a lower weight. And you're going to do more reps because it might be something totally different. So then that's programmed that with some kind of cardio of something. Or that might be your cardio because you're doing so many reps or something.
A lot of, like, just online, and you can find them. We'll tag them. You can find them, follow them, especially the local one, CrossFit 47. I've seen a lot of, like, cardio would be like a rowing machine, and then you see them out running in the yard. So it's not like just cardio, stand in place and stuff like that. They really get you moving.
Oh, so they're making you run.
Yeah. So since the weather has gotten warmer, we have ran a lot lately, and I don't know how much I like that. I'm just saying.
Just gonna put that out there.
Just saying. But it is what it is.
Okay, let's do another one. This one is pretty common, so we'll see what you got. C&J.
That's a clean and jerk.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Look at you. Yeah. So that's clean and jerk. Can you kind of describe that?
I can try to. So you start from the floor and you kind of lift it from the floor and you bring it up to clean it in this position.
Bring it up to your shoulder level.
Bring it up to your shoulder level. And then you stop there, and then when you jerk it, you do a dip. And then your second dip, you're going to jerk it straight. Yeah.
Okay. So we were doing that. I think that was one of the things that was
you might have been snatch is they're all kind of like
something
like that way. Maybe we were doing I don't know, because some of them are like similar, but then like
Okay, so here's another one. AMRAP, AMRAP.
That's an AMRAP. Yes, that's as many rounds as possible.
There you go.
That's usually they use that for your second WOD, which is your cardio. So it's like they give you a time, and all the times are different. Sometimes it could be like a 12-minute one. Sometimes it's a 20-minute one. Sometimes it's 8 minutes. And so like sometimes when you see those small, like let's say it's an 8-minute one, you're like, oh, this is gonna be easy. They're like the hardest ones ever, and they suck. But you have to challenge yourself to do as many rounds as possible. So you want to try to get as many rounds of whatever the programming is as possible. I'm getting too excited. So
we when we were there, you're using poker chips to count it,
yes.
right? That's what. So we did something like that. And then,
because you lose track. I lose track anyway. Because then I'm like, I'm in the middle of the round and I'm like, wait, is this 3? No, 4. Wait, 5? No, 2. Wait,
I remember they gave us the thing, and I'm like, I'm gonna be able to crush this. I grabbed a big old pile of chips, And at the end, and my did not finish pile looked really, really big, and the ones I actually got done, I did the same thing. I'm like, I better grab a handful
because you
of these.
look at it and you're like, that looks easy, and usually those are the sneaky ones. Like the ones that look really easy are kind of like.
Why is this time going so fast? Like, come on.
Yeah.
All right. How about CFT?
Ooh, CFT.
CFT.
You know, CFT. I don't know if I know that one.
I think you probably do. You probably just don't know it.
Maybe not.
They call it your CrossFit total.
Oh,
So-
I have never actually
they're
heard
saying-
that.
Your total
But-
what?
So the combined weight of your max squat, your max press, and your max deadlift. So all those things together would be your specific CrossFit total.
Interesting.
So you can bring that one.
I've actually never done that.
Oh, well,
Okay.
there-
It must not be a real thing.
yeah, no, it
Tell the
can't.
No,
internet
maybe-
it's wrong.
Dear's CrossFit.
Yes.
On,
CrossFit
some
Kim
of your
didn't
things.
know it, so
I
we
didn't
don't
know.
believe it.
Okay, here's one. This is a little bit weird lingo here. They call it goat, and I think
Well-
it's an odd one. So
It's not greatest of all time.
no, it's not great of all time. They're actually referring to it as the movement or lift that you're not good at. So
Really?
that gets
I've
your
actually
goat.
never heard of that one
Oh.
Gets your
either. Okay.
Now some of these are a little
Now
obviously.
you're going to go to CrossFit.
Yeah, I'm gonna be
and
like,
You're going to be
yeah.
You're gonna
Yeah.
teach them.
aware
Yes.
of the lingo, and
yeah.
So there was a couple others. K to E.
K2E. Oh, K2E. Oh, knees to elbow?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
thinking N to E,
Wait,
right?
yeah. I had to really.
I did the same thing.
Wait.
I read the description. I'm like, why is it K? And I'm
Yeah.
trying to figure it out. So I guess it says while you're hanging from the pull-up bar, you raise your knees to touch your elbows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
Is
do
it
that.
assisted? Is there a funny system here to lift your legs?
No, some people just are very have like a lot of core strength, and I have not reached that potential yet.
Not it. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's exactly what it is. So you're hanging from the pull-up bar, and you're just really just rocking your body
Trying to
so
pull
that you
up
can
to it.
touch your knees on your elbows, which I don't even know how that even is.
it doesn't even make sense.
It doesn't, but people do it. I've seen it, so
It's possible.
yeah, it is possible.
There's a
Definitely
lot
possible.
of jungle gym movements at Cross, like
Yes.
just swinging their bodies to kind of pull, and it's very intimidating. Now I'm a bigger person, like literally just in size, I'm just bigger. So some of those like pull-up movements and all that stuff, like just
I think
throw me
the
off.
class that you guys came to, we did muscle ups.
Yeah, so they were doing
Mm-hmm.
pull-up, like kind of jumping up through and then pushing up
Yes.
to where like initially imagine grabbing a pull-up bar. I'm trying to describe this best I can. And then jumping up to the point and then using that momentum to then push yourself up so you're kind of leaning straight up on the pull-up bar. Your hands are down at your waist, so half your body's up on top of the pull-up bar.
Yeah.
And then you're letting yourself back down. Now, it was our first day, so he let us
didn't have to
jump
do
to our
it.
chest. We're like, wee! We're like, wee! Just jump to that point.
And the funny thing is when I first did that movement, I'm like, oh, well, I'm not gonna be able to do this. And so the great thing about CrossFit is that even if there's some things that you think like the knees to elbow or the muscle ups, you think, you see these people from the floor lifting themselves up, you think, I can't do that. There is so many ways to modify a movement.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, and then you train yourself that maybe one day you'll be able to do it. So I'm able to do a muscle up from a box and also putting a couple weights so that it's a little bit higher. So basically the pull-up bar kind of sits a little bit
Almost
lower.
your midsection.
Yeah.
Not quite, but
Not quite, but like kind of in there.
Like chest level
and
height
yeah,
almost.
so then I kind of come down and I did it like my first time, and I was
you
just
freak
like,
out. You're like,
I did. Of course, I'm always like, like some kind of crazy.
look at me, everybody.
Look at me! Yeah, draw attention here. Yeah, which is so I don't want. But I get so excited sometimes because I really think like, oh, I can't do that, But there is so many ways that you can modify a movement.
And I
to
think
do.
that's kind of the key. We have such a defeated attitude
Yes.
going into a lot of things. Like,
Yes.
I can't do that. Joyce and I were just talking the other day, and we're about almost a year and a half into our like fitness journey and stuff like that. And I'm looking around at the gym at the guys and the weights that I used to see people moving. I'm like, man, I'll never get there like that. I should be there, but I can't. And now, just sticking to it and trying it and being consistent with it, a year later, I'm the guy that other people are looking at like, I'll never get to that. Like it's
Yes.
it's amazing if you just stick to it,
Yes.
what you'll get accomplished.
You don't know how far you'll go.
Yeah, and like you said, like with your deadlifts and someone just being there to kind of encourage you, you don't know until you try and keep at it. And it, like you said, it doesn't happen overnight, but over time you'll be able to accomplish some pretty cool things.
Yeah.
One last one, PB.
Is that personal best?
It is personal best. So
yes,
you know this
yes,
stuff.
yes.
I'll pull out a couple random things.
Not peanut butter, but personal best. Yes.
Peanut butter sounds much better, though.
And then, I know CrossFit's all about personal best and striving. Don't they have a celebration bell or something like that?
Yeah, we have
too?
a PR bell actually that you can ring if you hit a PR. So and then everybody celebrates. It's
Now
really
you brought up
awesome.
another PR. PR is
Yes, personal record.
personal
Yeah.
record. So it's in the
Kind
same
of the same-
ballpark.
yeah, kind of
it's
the
the
same
exact
thing.
same thing.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool that people there want to encourage you. Like I don't feel even that intimidated or whatever, even though there are people that lift heavier than you or are doing more rounds and reps than you or whatever. It's just everybody really does encourage, and that's what I really found that I liked about it, because I feel super intimidated going into a gym.
And that's fair. And a lot of
It is
people
intimidating.
do feel that way, but especially in this environment, and I don't know how to describe it. It's a big family. Everyone wanting to do well together. They want you to do the best that you can do based on your standard. Which I think when they celebrate your personal records and you keep track of your stuff, like everyone, and I think there's something to it about all the weights kind of looking the same, because it's not about looking at someone else. It's about you do you. You like do the best you can.
Totally.
And get that. And I think that's definitely a big
And
thing
even
people
if you
want.
find even a couple people there will push you, like they'll see you do the movement and they're like, oh, you could put more. That looked
Right.
easy. And you're thinking, what?
You're like, I'm
But then
dying
because
here.
they say that, you actually
okay.
are
Like, well, I guess I should.
all right, I'll try it. And you know what? Like most times
They were right.
Yeah, we're right.
Yeah.
So it's really cool.
That is a nice thing about having a group there.
Yeah.
So we're like coming to the end of our time, and you brought all these.
I did. I
beautiful
brought notes just
and
in
stuff like
case.
that.
She's
Yeah.
so prepared. I
I
love
know
it.
it's so like one. I'm amazed. I definitely like things I learned over this time is that you're extremely regimented when it comes to your food.
Yes.
I did not understand that, and that falls back to again the concept when we try to share with everyone. Find what works for you.
Yes.
Like that would not work for me. I would go nuts, go crazy. Just the regimen of it, I couldn't possibly do that. So it's amazing that that's something. How many years now you've been doing that?
So it's been since 2011.
Oh,
yeah.
my
Yeah.
So
goodness.
someone who's starting down the journey of losing weight and they start seeing results, it's very exciting. And so they start to, push harder, and people are like, oh, Kim, you look so great.
Right.
But 10 years down the line, or 9 years down the
Yeah.
line, the
more
weight's
pats
not
on the
really
back.
coming off anymore. I mean, you've
Right.
probably plateaued. I mean, not to
Yes.
say you won't lose any
Yeah.
more, but not at the speed that you were.
Right.
Of course.
Yes, it's so much harder
And
now.
so
Yeah.
people stop kind of noticing, and it
Yeah.
starts to become monotonous.
Yeah.
Like, what keeps you going? Because I cannot give credit to the person because I can't remember who said it. But my favorite quote, and I say it all the time, is staying in shape after losing weight is like running a marathon and getting nowhere, because you're still doing all the hard work day in and day out, but you're not necessarily continuing to lose weight.
Right.
So what keeps you going?
Gee, I don't know. I guess the fact that I don't want to go back, and I just can't go back. And then I know that if I do, it's going to be that much harder to get where I am now, And as far as exercise, if I stop, it hurts to go back. So I'm at a point where like it doesn't hurt that much, or if it hurts a little bit, like it goes away right away. But when you first started exercising and like you can't walk.
Yeah, every other day you're like, I'm dead.
And it
I'm never gonna do
hurts,
this.
like I don't want to feel like that anymore too.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like I push myself in that aspect too,
Yeah.
And just,
Don't you
even
feel so good
I
when
do,
you're done,
I do.
And
But
you
I
feel
can't
so
say
strong.
I don't struggle. I actually do fight with myself sometimes to even go to the gym. And one of my things, and I think I shared this with you guys before, is I just go and put my gym clothes on. Like in the morning, I come out of my pajamas and I put my gym clothes on because now they're on. Yeah. And so I have to go.
That falls back. We talked about you have a uniform. Like you put uniform. That's the next
So
phase.
because I find that if I don't put them on, I'll say, oh, I'll do it later, or I'll go to it. Yeah, I just won't.
And another thing too, you have going for you too. I think might be I'm going to tell you what your motivation is. Your babies
Yes.
are very active.
Yes.
So
So,
you, like,
that was the other thing I was going to bring up.
Scotty's on the football
Yes.
squad, and Autumn.
She's a runner.
She's
Yeah,
a
she's
She's
a
a runner.
She is
Yes.
a ridiculous
Yes,
runner.
she
Very
is.
talented for her
Yes.
age. And she's
Yes.
got like a long future with that kind of
Yes.
going on.
Exactly.
And she's just a little thing. Oh
Yes.
my goodness.
She's tiny, and yeah, I know
the times she's putting up too are ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, she's really
she's doing really good.
and our school system has some great coaches.
Yes,
she's
they
gonna,
sure do.
She's gonna be really
Yes, and she's already
man.
has been working with with the coach there in the high school even before she even started it, because she goes to high school this year. So so even before that, because he already kind of eyed her up and wanted to work with her and help her with
That's-
a couple things.
that's
So it's awesome.
So those babies
But
are your motivation too.
they
because-
actually are, because that's what they see, and that's what the kids, they see what you do. So they're seeing that we're eating healthy, we're seeing that we exercise. My husband
runs,
Scott likes
right?
to run. Yes, Scott likes to run too. And some once in a while he'll come take a CrossFit class with me too. So it's just hard for him with his schedule and
Yeah,
stuff.
he's
So
got-
but yeah, they see this and they actually get really excited and about exercise. Where I look at when I was a teenager, I just didn't do sports and I didn't exercise and I just was never excited about. But yeah, they love that too. And they even took a CrossFit class with me on July
I do
4th.
remember seeing the pictures
Yeah,
of
we
that.
saw that on Facebook.
Yes,
That was cool.
and they wanted to go. Like I'm going to CrossFit before July 4th, and they're, can we come?
What?
And
They
I'm
brought
like,
it up?
They brought it up,
cool.
and they were so
My
excited.
children are listening to this.
I know. So they wanted
And
to
do
come.
they
And
eat what you eat, or do you kind of cook?
pretty much,
a
I
little
cook for
carby
everybody.
them
I
and-
do cook a little carby for them because I think they're too young to not have any
I
carbohydrates.
will make sometimes macaroni and cheese
Yes.
or something that
Yeah.
obviously we're not going to eat, but
Right.
the kids
Yeah,
really like
that,
it.
and they eat their spaghetti. They don't.
Right.
I've tried to,
do the spaghetti squash and the whole
spaghetti
thing.
squash with them, or
they're not having
the zucchini noodles, and they just they're
can
not
smell that
having
from
it.
a mile
Yeah, they're
away,
like,
like
no.
this ain't it.
I tried to trick them once with the spaghetti squash. That was fun. They caught my ruse.
Yeah.
We can get ours to eat cauliflower mac and cheese because that's just so good.
Okay.
But they would obviously take regular mac and cheese over
course.
it any day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the noodles kind of switch when you go to grandmom's house and they got the real mashed potatoes there and stuff like that. They're like,
Yeah.
oh,
My mom makes them
they
bread
love it.
every Sunday because we don't
They don't have bread in this house. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Yeah.
for sandwiches for lunch, I will sometimes. But for the most part, we're bread free. So
Okay.
my mom every Sunday makes them garlic bread. And that's they
yeah.
can't even wait.
Yeah, I'm
That's
sure it's like
that's
yeah.
their big treat.
Yep. Definitely.
Well, thank you so much for
You're
coming
welcome.
and sharing your story.
Thanks
And
for having
it's
me.
so encouraging, and I love that it's so different than what
I
we've
do have
done.
our guest question.
You have a
'Cause
guest
every
question?
time we have a guest, we like to end with a question that
If
they
we-
didn't know was coming.
if
we
and
gosh.
it's
remember to give them a
completely
question.
irrelevant.
It's
So
going to
yours
be
is-
extremely controversial, so please tell us
This
your
one's
opinion
pretty
on it.
serious. Yeah, this one
Serious.
could really make or break a friendship.
Oh gosh.
So, coffee.
Oh boy.
Are you Wawa, Dunkin',
Oh.
or Starbucks?
I have to say I am Starbucks.
Okay,
Whoa.
that's okay.
Boy,
But
boy.
I always get the blonde roast.
Me too. If I'm at
Yes.
Starbucks, I can only because the other one
Yes.
tastes to me
It's-
burnt.
Yeah, they're a little bit strong.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I love the blonde roast.
Give us your Starbucks order.
It's usually I'm usually plain. I'm usually a blonde roast, black, and then I fix it up. But every once in a while, I'll treat myself to a caramel macchiato.
Oh,
Okay.
boy.
Yeah,
That's
with
fair.
with whipped cream.
So, here's a follow-up question, knowing that you like Starbucks. Have you ever had Starbucks tap water?
Oh my gosh.
Is that a thing?
No.
It is a thing.
I was saying on one of the episodes, every time I order coffee, it doesn't matter where I am, I ask for an ice water as well. So if I go to Dunkin' through the drive-thru, I'm like, my medium coffee and an ice water, please, because I want to drink as much water as possible. So
Right.
anytime I go anywhere, I order an ice water, and it just makes you drink more water throughout the day.
Yeah.
But I had mentioned that at Starbucks, I don't know why, their water I really, really like. Like, it just tastes, I don't know.
Right. It's
heavenly.
like the most bizarre fact of,
I know.
of all
And
time.
I wish I never said it because he has not gotten off of that.
It's
He's
like my
so
new favorite
excited
thing.
about it. But I don't know if they filter their water differently or something. But yeah, I could go through like one of their large waters. I just drink it all down.
Oh my gosh,
But yeah, and
yeah.
then I try to drink my water before I have the coffee. Although I like
Yeah.
to save a little bit to rinse my mouth out because I don't want to stain my teeth.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
There's all those facts in your
Yes.
gut. Okay,
Awesome.
so that's a lot of information. A whole lot going
Yeah.
on. So
Yes.
obviously, in these posts and in our show notes, we'll have contact information so you can reach out to Kim. It's okay if we give you email. Thanks for
Sure.
giving us permission. If you have any questions for her, want to follow up, see how she does her things, want to join her at CrossFit 47, we'll have all that stuff connected. If you're listening to us, you've already heard us either on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, and Podomatic, everywhere you get your podcasts, you can get us. And if you're watching us, it's on YouTube. So thanks for watching, like and share. And yeah, that's enough, right?
All right.
That's enough.
Awesome.